I just want to add this quick disclaimer to the beginning of the video. I'm expecting all of these coins to be ruined, and most of them are garbage and bulk weeds anyways. I've been collecting for many years, and you shouldn't clean your coins, but I kind of wanted to do this experiment just to see kind of what would happen if we tried some different techniques, and we could be able to identify the coins that have been cleaned this way and see how they actually affect the coin. On the cointalk forums from Greg Clark from a couple years back. I was going to do it anyway, so I figured I might as well make a video and kind of show you guys how it works. So right here we have three different solutions for our experiment, all nice and labeled. I will put a link to his post, but essentially what it is that the patina can be removed by using a specific chemical formula, which consists of baking soda, which is sodium bicarbonate, and let's see if super washing soda, which is essentially just soda ash, which is what you use for laundry and stuff, and distilled water. So that is what it says, and if you want to read, these are my current numbers that I'm using. So 2/5 of a cup of water, distilled water for all of them, and then on the top one we're going 10.61 grams of baking soda, 8.41 grams of washing soda, which is about a 5% molar composition, and then it's kind of a half-life for all of them. So this one's almost half, and then this one's almost half, so we have 5% molar, 2.5%, and then about 1%. So hopefully his write-up says that this one might damage coins, but it should work a lot faster than the other ones, and then these other two, they might do something, they might not, and if they do, that might take a while. So this is kind of just going to be going through and trying to show you guys how to do this, and if it works, if it doesn't, we'll see. I know it's been having a lot of trouble dissolving, so I think it looks like it might be the laundry booster, which is the soda ash. Both of these you can pretty easily find at Walmart. I mean, I got a big couple pound box of soda ash for $4 or $5, and the baking soda was $1 or $2, and the distilled water was a couple bucks. So supposedly this can treat all kinds of copper and bronze. And so yeah, I guess today we're gonna see kind of how it works, and I might throw in a couple, BU or nicer coins just to see how it affects kind of the surfaces, and I will get a close-up of the differences, and then I'll probably go to a close-up of all the starting coins for each batch, and then we'll go from there.
Okie dokie, so in this next clip we're just going to be going over every single individual coin to kind of get results and gauge to see how our results come out. So this is kind of just a random grouping that I had. I decided to put one BU coin in every single batch just to kind of see how it would work with a fairly nice, I mean, these are just common coppers. They're all just worth copper value. So here, and this is going in batch 1. So you have 1970S. And so yeah, that's kind of what the first one looks like. Here's a 47. There is a green spot, so I'm hoping that this might get wiped away. This is the reverse. There's a little bit of green on the reverse and some kind of dark spotting that looks a little bit greener that I can see in person. And then there's a couple other crusty ones. So there's this really crusty 42. It's got some red toning on the back. This one has been through hell and back. It's pretty heavily corroded already, so I'm putting it in the hardest and the highest molar, so hopefully it'll kind of remove some of that. There's a 41. It also looks fairly corroded. But yeah, there's some verdigris on the back, and just kind of, most of these are junky coins, so there's bulk wheats. This one's got a pretty dark patina, and there's definitely, you can see a lot of gunk on it. So I don't know how it's gonna work with this gunk, but we'll see. This one's got some pretty heavy scratch lines, but as you can see, it looks pretty verdigris-y. There's plenty of stuff on there, so I'm hoping that the highest power stuff will kind of take care of this, or if not, well, just trash some more junk stuff. So it doesn't matter. So that's going in number 1. Here is going in number 2. Number 2, you got this 45, a little bit of verdigris on it, but a little bit of darker toning. This one's kind of a little chocolate brown. Here is our sacrificial nice penny. You can definitely see some spotting on the front, so I'm not sure. I'm hoping to see if it'll remove some of that spotting. I don't know if that is something that will get dissolved in the solution or not, but we'll find out together. Here, this one's got some black toning, looks like some verdigris. Here's a 1947, kind of the same story, same old junk. It's not stuff that would really easily wipe off, but I mean, that's a nice coin. It's gunky. Here's another one, same story, kind of gunky, but back nice, and you can even see some luster on it. Here, this one, I don't really know how this one will turn out. The front looks really red, but it's got a lot of gunk all over it, and then the back is completely brown. So we'll see how that works. Here's a 56D. Same story, lots of gunk. And we'll see if there's any spotting afterwards, or kind of what the results are. So that's number 2, and then finally here's number 3. So you have a 75D. This one, it's kind of got some spotting on the right side, some of that black spotting. So we'll see if that cleans up. This 44, that looks like a hair on it, so let's see if we can get that off. Yep, just a hair. So kind of the same gunk. This is going to go in number 3, and number 3 is the lowest molar ratio, so these might survive a little bit more than the other ones. If that's the case, I'm not really sure how any of these will turn out. This one's pretty toasted, so I tried to add a decent mix of everything in each one of them, just so we could kind of get a, you can kind of see some gunk around that. This one's really heavily corroded, but it's kind of got a different color on it, so I figured it's already toast. What's the worst that'll happen on it? And then here's one, we got kind of lots of gunk. Yeah, just kind of some regular stuff. Here is a 47. This one's pretty nice. It's got this one spot, and these kind of spots are something that kind of exists on a lot of copper, so I really wanted to see if that would kind of clean it up. Here's a little nice red-brown one that I found, and it's just got a little bit of kind of, it's got like a little black spot between of and America. I don't know if you can really see it, but I figured might as well toss it in, see what happens to it. And then this last 54. So I'll go ahead and toss those in all 3 of our solutions. As you can see, kind of broke it up a little bit more. These really take a while. It seems to dissolve if you give it a nice stir, but I mean, even this is after 5 minutes of stirring with the highest mole. This is the second, and this is the first one. So I got all the first one to dissolve, second one's getting there. So yeah, just gotta kind of make sure that these dissolve and then toss them in. Okie dokie, so here we go. We've got, this is number one. It's really not dissolved, but I stirred it for a while, so we're hoping it settles out. Here's number two. It's almost crystal clear. You can see a little bit that hasn't dissolved yet. But for the most part, everything looks good. And then here is number three, and number three is still all dissolved like it was earlier. So yeah, I will hopefully give you guys an update tomorrow, and I'll tell you if I see anything. So I'm not sure if this is kind of a fluke or if it's some air bubbles that get caught, but whenever I put them in, this is just in batch number one, I'm seeing a couple air bubbles, so I'm not sure if that was stuck on the coins or if that's just kind of a reaction occurring, but I just figured I'd point that out. Okie dokie, so here we go. We've got, this is number one. It's really not dissolved, but I stirred it for a while, so we're hoping it settles out. Here's number two. It's almost crystal clear. You can see a little bit that hasn't dissolved yet. But for the most part, everything looks good. And then here is number three, and number three is still all dissolved like it was earlier. So yeah, I will hopefully give you guys an update tomorrow, and I'll tell you if I see anything. Hello everyone, today we're back, and this is about day 1.5. As you can see, this one right here is bowl one. You can't really see it very well on the camera, but I do notice some different changes in color. I can't tell if this BU one is changing quite a bit, or if I'm just seeing things and it's kind of the coloring of the water. As you can see, all of these have turned blue for the color of the water. So you can see at least a little bit of kind of stuff coming off of these coins. A lot of the verdigris is definitely coming off. I'm not exactly sure, but this 1945 down here, you can't see it terribly well, but I believe it looks a little bit different. It looks like some of the corrosion's receding. I can definitely tell on this one right here, though, there's a almost an opening, it looks like, on the date. So it's kind of looking a lot better. This one still looks about the same. This one's kind of it's kind of got a nice luster to it, so it's definitely not stripping away the luster, at least yet. That one is number two. And then over here in number three, kind of how it's going. The BU one is still super BU. And this is the weakest molar ratio. Looks like that red-brown one still holding up the red-brown. That heavily corroded one, you still can't really see it. Looks like this one's cleaning up a little bit at least. But yeah, so I just wanted to do a quick update. This is, like I said, this is day 1.5. So far, results look pretty promising. Let's see if I can get a little bit of... So 3 is the lightest, which makes sense because it's got the least power. And then as you can see, I mean, these are like almost aquarium blue from the side. From the top, they are definitely like a little bit blue, but not as bad. But yeah, here we go. This is day 2 progress check. So we're starting over here. Number 1, highest potency molar mix. Just quick glance, and then I will use my handy dandy spoon that I got here, and we shall flip them over and see what's happening. These, I don't remember there being that many lustrous coins in there. As you can see, all 4 of these look pretty nice. That one looks about the same. Got that nice one up there. This one's kind of nice. Good detail on that one, no luster. So yeah, I'm gonna flip them with my handy dandy spoon and we'll be right back. One thing I just wanted to point out, I'm looking in, this is number 1. So this is the side that was face down, and this is the side that was face up. I'm not exactly sure what it looked like beforehand, but I will check it out. It looks a tad bit pinker to me, but it could just be some weird toning. So really quick, here's just some updates after I flipped them. This one's in 1, and here we've got in 2. It does look like that the BU ones are having a little bit of a color change, especially whenever I pulled them out and flipped them. It looked like they were just a little bit off. That's number 3. You see it on the label. And I pulled out this one from number 2, and it's kind of got this, terrible stuff on it. It looks to me like it's kind of cleared up a little bit, but I figured for science we could try and see if it kind of loosens some of this stuff up. And so I got a Q-tip right here, and we're just gonna see what happens with it. I don't really expect this to do anything, but I'm just gonna hit it really lightly. So if you hit these pretty lightly, they won't come up with hairlines. It looks like there actually is quite a bit of gum coming off of this. You can't, if it'll ever focus. So it looks like for something like this, this might actually be working pretty well. Yeah, there's definitely a whole bunch of crud coming off there. So kind of so far, preliminary thoughts after day 2. And just kind of, I tried something like this. If you wet it beforehand, it didn't really come off. So this is definitely at least loosening a bit of this off. I'm not sure if sitting it in distilled water for a couple days would work, but okie dokie. So here's number 3. Here's kind of the success pile. This was the lowest composition. Here's kind of the mediocre failure pile. As you can see, I think it's just the color. I mean, you can't see it too well on camera, but it's kind of this orange hazy color. I think it started like that, but it still kind of failed. This one is really washed out. It's got this kind of muddy brown to like almost black. Here's another one. It's kind of turning red. This one just has a lot of gunk on it. It's and this one was kind of like roached off the bat, but that one is still toast. So it kind of looks like overall, if it's got the verdigris on it, it'll work really well. But if it's kind of got this, if it's got gunk, or if it's orange especially, it seems like if it's orange or red already, it's not good. So yeah, I will kind of pull, I think number 3 is probably good. I don't know if we're going to get any better than kind of what you've seen right here. So today we're going to be kind of going through, I already took them out of the solution, and I got them cleaned up, and I kind of showed them off a little bit in the last clip. I'm not sure if that'll make it in, but I'll just kind of go one by one. So here we go, we've got all 3 all in a row. So here's just kind of number 1, and I'll try to kind of go coin by coin and put a comparable front and, or at the start and the end. So we get this one. This one looked a little bit clean at the start, but it definitely looks kind of toasted. This one was the one with the heavy scratching, and I can definitely tell that the verdigris has been removed quite substantially. It still kind of looks like garbage, but kind of that orange color is a little bit more present and it looks a lot washed out. This one, it looks kind of similar, looks a little bit more washed out. This one, I think if this one was in for a while longer, it would turn out a lot better. As you can see, I kind of removed a spot there with a Q-tip. This one definitely had a lot removed, but the this orange color is, I think, definitely not supposed to be there, and it's kind of, I would consider that a failure, and same with this one right to the right of it. But there's a lot less verdigris. This 47 was pretty nice at the start. It had, let's see if you can see it. It had a couple reverse verdigris spots and black spots, and I think those are a lot better, but overall, none of the side toning of the light chocolatey brown was there, so I think that's a loss as well. This one has some stuff on top. I didn't check the original one of that, but I think it looks a little bit worse. And that was in the highest concentration. So if we go up to number 2, I feel like this 45 doesn't really fit because it had that little plastic thing, as you saw in the last video that I just found out. This 47, it's definitely a lot darker. It's got a really weird color to it, but it is, I don't know. See for yourself on that one. This one is roasted red. I mean, this thing is totally washed out. I think that one's toast. This one also turned really orange, but the back still looks really nice. So I'm not sure. I think some of them probably were just on their one side for too long, so maybe that's something in the future that we could test. This one definitely looks cleaned, but it looks kind of got that rose red. Here's a 47. I think this stuff at the bottom is just kind of some solution that I didn't wash off with the distilled water. So, and then this 49, this one's kind of got that light chocolatey brown, kind of almost mud brown to it. I'd consider that one probably a failure as well. And same with this one. I think this one looked a lot worse, but it's kind of washed out, so I'd say it's probably toast. And then here's going to number 3. This one's got kind of like a sand brown on the left side and almost a gunmetal gray on the right side. Back, it's kind of toasted. This one looks this one looks cleaned. There's almost no doubt about it. It looks clean in person. This one, a little bit more corroded than it was, but still weedy nonetheless. I think this one definitely survived the best, but in person it looks a little bit I think it definitely shows its cleaning. So it seems like if it's orange or red at the start, or it's kind of BU red, this doesn't seem like a good solution for that. This one's kind of got that red color as well. I think that one's toast. I think this one, I don't think it's verdigris, I just think it's a whole bunch of gunk. This one I think turned out okay. It it was definitely a bit more red at the start, but you can definitely see, I can't even remember where it was. I'll try to put it up on the side-by-side, but there was one spot on this one, or maybe, I think it was the other 47. So I think that was just a nice red brown one as control. Here's a nice 54. This one's a little bit lighter, but have to kind of do a side-by-side on that. Here's the 47. This is the one that had a big spot by the E, and I think it cleaned up pretty well. I mean, it's dark now, but it's definitely not a big green spot like it was. And here's the final one. This is a 50D. Yeah, so I think overall, it's not a complete bust, but it wasn't a complete success. I think we learned a lot. It seems like kind of you don't want to put BU red stuff in, especially really heavy corroded stuff like this one. It's got some noticeable more corrosion, and especially something kind of like maybe this one. in this one especially too. You know that whenever you get to that red orange color, it kind of I think I'd probably consider it a lost cause, and it looks a lot worse than it could have. And sometimes that was caused a little bit by getting rid of the patina on it with a Q-tip. So kind of trying to clean up some of the gunk on it. It just softens up the surface and just kind of washes everything away. But yeah, so I hope you enjoyed. And I hope you learned something, especially kind of what to look out for. I definitely think looking out for stuff that kind of looks similar to this with that light chocolatey brown color is definitely a very good telltale sign that it's been cleaned, because I do notice that on quite a few of these. And I don't know how well it picks up in the picture, but it's just a little tiny bit of, where's the best one for it? Yeah, something like this. That it's like mostly one shade of brown, but then there's almost a sandy brown, a sandy lighter brown. See if we can get it in the picture. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you guys next time.